Now, over the past 2 days, our newsroom has been just flooded with calls from Amazon warehouse workers in Jacksonville. They tell us the company never let them know a co-worker tested positive for COVID-19. Tonight, On Your Side's Alex Ositis was first to break this story, and he's been digging even more deeply today. All new at 5:30.
Emails and phone calls Amazon jacks to employees telling us the statement that the company had told the On Your Side team didn't add up.
Folks telling us they didn't learn about the positive case at their facility until we broke the story.
My wife's scared, I'm scared.
This man, an Amazon employee at the Northside Fulfillment Center, agreed to speak with us if we didn't use his name or show his face.
I just don't want, them trying to like lash out at me. And I'm not just speaking for me, but I'm speaking for all of us.
This is what Amazon told the On Your Side team Tuesday. An employee who tested positive for COVID-19 had not been at the site since March 18th. That they told employees about the situation and they were conducting contact tracing.
Never did we even get a call. We didn't get a text. We didn't even get a freaking email stating that a person was found positive with the coronavirus.
Sending us pictures of messages, how the company communicates with employees, offering shifts that could be picked up, but no message about the positive case. We contacted Amazon about these concerns from employees, leaving several messages, but didn't receive a reply before our deadline. In the company's prior statement, a spokesman said enhanced cleaning measures would increase, but that's still a concern for the employees who contacted us.
Really angry, and I have a whole family at my house. I have a wife and 2 kids.
Amazon has previously told us that warehouse would remain open. Reporting, Alex Ositis, First Coast News, On Your Side.